How's it going, everybody? Welcome to our fourth digital live of the fall 2025 segment. So, I am Zach here, joined by my co host Lale. We are field managers at the Digital Summer Clinic, and today we are joined by previous interns over this summer. We are joined by Johnna Paul and Natalie Kyle.
Thank you so much for being here today, Natalie and Johnna. We're so excited to have you guys, and thank you for everyone that's tuning in. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the chat, and we'll get to them during the Q&A section. So to get started, guys, do you guys mind introducing yourselves and telling us a little bit about your guys' professional experience?
Yes, so hi everyone, I am Johnna. I've been working at Palermo Pizzeria for the past 6 years, where my parents own the restaurant. Over there, I've had the chance to run the company's social media for the past 2 years, which is great. That has helped me manage posts, promotions, engagement with customers all around. When doing that, this really sparked my interest for marketing, so that's why I switched my field and also like digital marketing to be specific, and it has helped me strengthen my detail in like creating posts and like making sure they're fun and like people want to engage with them.
So my name is Natalie. I am a senior at Eastern Michigan University, and I am studying communication technology. My background is in web and graphic design, but I've been entering the journalism space as of late. That started last semester. I was at Washtenaw Community College, and I worked for the student newspaper there, the Washtenaw Voice, as the digital editor. So while I was there, I handled their website and social media content. When I transferred to Eastern, I wanted to continue working in the journalism space. So I got a job as a social media manager for the Eastern Echo, the student newspaper here. And that carried me into working as the managing editor there at the beginning of this semester, which is the role that I currently hold. So the Digital Summer Clinic really kind of bridged that gap for me between those two colleges, and it gave me a really good chance to develop professionally from one role to the next.
Yeah, so you guys have really cool backgrounds, and just all the social media experience you guys have definitely paid off at the clinic, for sure. But so we're just gonna ask you guys a few questions, so everybody here in the chat can get to know you a little bit better. So yeah, our first question for you guys. So you guys were interns during the Digital Summer Clinic this past summer. So both with different companies, by the way. You guys weren't like partners. So we just kind of want to hear your experiences with your companies. So just tell us a little bit about your companies. What did you guys work on, and what's it like working with a startup?
Yeah, so I worked with the company Orbade this summer. It was a sustainability company basically to help your business go green and to save money. A lot of things that I did is I wrote blog posts for the company that got posted on LinkedIn and their website. Another thing that I was doing is their social media marketing for events that William was having, which is the founder and CEO of Orbade. I also did one major thing that I did was I did direct outreach to a bunch of customers through an app called Wova. William attended the Summit 2025 conference that was held in Detroit, and I messaged 423 people within the app on Wova, and out of that 423 prospects, I was able to bring in 104 people to attend this event, which I believe it got around 90% or so of signups to actually join like William's stuff, which was great, like through Orbade. And that was like my big job I did. And I'm really proud of myself for that. It felt really nice.
As you should. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yes.
Nice work.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats to you, Johnna.
Thank you.
When I was in the clinic, I worked for De Novo Fertility. They provide holistic wellness support to couples and individuals who are trying to conceive. And It was a really great experience. They actually had been through the digital summer clinic before. So I had, I think, a stronger foundation as they knew how everything worked and they knew what having interns was like. So that was helpful. But it was totally virtual, which was new for me. I'm usually working hybrid or in person most of the time. So that was a good learning experience. But overall, I mostly focused on website design and also writing some new content for their website a little bit also. I also dabbled in doing social media engagement, and I aided my partner Congressville in starting up an influencer program for de novo fertility as well. So I didn't do a whole lot of that. That was mostly her, but it was fun to watch the project develop and pitch in when I could. But overall, I learned so much from them, and they were really, really a wonderful company to work with. I think I learned a lot of good communication skills, especially working in a virtual environment. And I'm really thankful that I was paired with that company. They do a lot of good things there.
Wow, it sounds like you guys had a lot of big wins this past summer. So congrats to you both. You both hit like really good milestones. So, like you said, Natalie, you feel like your company had a really good foundation since it has been through the clinic before. But I know for a lot of interns, it can be kind of a rocky start because it is their company's first time or it's their first times being interns. So as interns, can you guys please tell us what were some problems you guys may have came across? What were some challenges and how did you guys solve them?
Yeah, so my big thing was like Natalie said, like I was completely virtual as well. I met 2 times a week with William, and that really put a damper on communication. I felt like for me, it was as like anyone else, he was super busy, so he didn't have like all the time in the world to email me back or answer my questions if I had like a project question. So my communication skills at the beginning, I felt like were really rough trying to get a hold of him. But of course, right at the end of the clinic is when like the things started getting good. So I was getting replies quicker. I started understanding more of what William wanted, and it really helped.
For me, I think, interestingly enough, my biggest obstacle was myself in sense of hesitation and like uncertainty. I really had to learn how to push past being uncomfortable. The clinic really just starts and you just run like from the first day. There isn't really a lot of time to acclimate yourself. So it's really important, I found, to kind of push through anything I felt, hesitant about and just do it anyway, to really get the most out of the experience. So yeah, that was a lot of just not thinking about it and just executing. And I learned to do that pretty well towards the end there. Definitely as I got more comfortable, but it was kind of my goal from the beginning to really get that from this experience.
Yeah, I think you guys both bring up like such great points for Johnna, communication. I think we all can agree communication is like the key to like business, just making sure everybody's on the same page and understanding like your boss's expectations and their goals, like being aligned with that is kind of what you need to do to like move the ball forward. And for Natalie, like yeah, our Bud always says like the most important thing is just to keep the ball rolling. Like you just have to keep going. Even if you like think you're stuck, like that is like the most important thing you can do. It's just like don't let yourself get stuck, just like keep going. And I feel like, you guys both like absolutely like um those are such good experiences that like it's like so good to learn as an intern just so like you like have that for the future. And that kind of ties into the next question. What is the most valuable takeaway you guys had at your? Let me try again. What is the most valuable takeaway you guys had from your experience at the Digital Summer Clinic?
Yes, so the most valuable thing I took away from the Digital Summer Clinic is just to market yourself. I think that was a big thing between doing blog posts every week through the Digital Summer Clinic, also confirming you had a LinkedIn, a blog, Also, another big thing is getting that Google Analytics certification, because that looks great on a resume, I've learned, and I'm glad I have it on there. Because at the end of the day, the only thing I'm going to get myself out there is myself. So I have to market myself and my values as a professional. I also have to know my audience and highlight my strengths, and just staying authentic. Don't, like, you can push yourself, but also don't push yourself too much. So that was my biggest takeaway. I also think that ever since being in the digital summer clinic, I have grown such like a good professional audience and people I can like look up to and like reach out if I have any questions. And it was great. I loved my time during it. I learned so many things.
For me, generally speaking, I think my biggest takeaway was confidence, but in the context of contributing to a company also. It's really easy to get into the mindset like, oh, I'm just an intern, or oh, I'm new here, and not really speak up or bring your ideas to the table. But I was able to develop the confidence to do that, and I had some really great conversations at De Novo Fertility, just presenting new ideas. Because at the end of the day, you are a new set of eyes to the company, and you were chosen for the internship for a reason. You made it through the to the interview process, so you know people believe that you can do it. So you just have to believe that in yourself too, and really show up and contribute to the team that you're working with. So I'm thankful for the clinic to. That really ingrained that in me, that mindset. And I'm thankful for the new confidence I was able to get and carry on through my roles now and also in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Confidence is everything. It's how you get in the door of future places. Even if you have the resume, you know, you just need that confidence to like take you there. I feel like that's it's kind of underrated, but at the same time, it's not underrated. People just don't talk about it a ton because they just like figure you have it. But like as an intern, it's like you said, it's so easy to fall into the intern trap of like the intern mindset of I'm just an intern. I don't know what I'm doing, you know. But the truth is, you have power. You know, people want your ideas and all that. So I think it's just super great. And like Johnna said, just like figuring out how to build a resume, you know, it's just so valuable. Like you're not necessarily going to get the job solely on confidence. You have to have the competence too on your resume. And I feel like those two have to be connected. You know? So yeah, great answers, guys. So now we're going to pass it over to the chat for the Q&A portion. If anybody has any questions, just hop in there. If you don't, that's okay.
I have a question for
Ollie's
Johnna.
got a question.
So you said you worked at your family's business for 6 years, and then for 2 years now you've been managing the social media. So what made you make that transition from going from the previous role that you had to being the social media manager?
Yes, so I still work there. I'm a server and a host there, but so my dad brought the idea to me and he was like, "How can I reach your generation? Like how can we get people of your age inside the restaurant?" And I was like, we have always had a Facebook page, but we've only posted on it for like if something was going on at the restaurant, like something was down, just basic communication. But I was like, we have to do more than that. We have to start promoting on game days. We have to start doing, like, for example, I just did a post the other day that if you came in and wore like a Lions jersey or something, you get 10% off your bill. And it's just like something to get something to bring those customers in has really like helped. And also ever since taking over their social media, we've had an increase in sales, which is like the key point to any business that's just getting ran. But we had to fill that gap somewhere, and I wanted to fill that, and I think it's helped a lot.
Okay, that's really cool. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I know when people are applying to the clinic, they're like, oh, what if I don't have that much experience? But a lot of people have more experience than they think, and you're a perfect example of that. You had your experience with your family's company. So if anyone's thinking of applying to the clinic, just bring the experience that you already have that you may not think matters, but it definitely does.
Absolutely. And kind of going off that, the number one thing they look for is, can you be a self-starter? Especially when you're working with startups, you know, the path is not always clear. It's definitely not always clear. So it's like you have to have that like drive to be able to move forward. And the whole like social media thing, that's such like an entrepreneurial like lens to look through. It's like, how can I turn this into where it should be? I feel like that's just super cool. So Natalie, how about your journalism endeavors? What's going on with that? I'd just like to hear more about that.
Yeah, well, I guess I never expected to be here. I wanted to just, focus on web design, and I never expected to do social media either. But when I started at the Washtenaw Voice, that was part of my job, and I was expected to do it, and I was expected to figure it out. So, I did, and I think that's a lot of what got me into the clinic also, because I had that self-starter mindset from that first opportunity where I walked in somewhere with something expected of me and I didn't really know how to do it, but I figured out how, and I took the initiative to do it and do it well. And that's really what it takes at the clinic, I'd say, because you're walking into a startup company that may have a direction and may know exactly what they want you to help with, but sometimes they also don't, and you have to kind of figure out exactly how to be the best intern you can be there, and contribute in whatever ways you know how. So I guess I'm continuing to carry that mindset on with my time at the Echo now, and just enjoying that I have work that gives me purpose, and it gives me passion about it, because it does something, it gets news out to the community, so it keeps driving me and motivating me, so I don't find that it's hard to work hard. I do enjoy what I do, so at the end of the day that really helps. It's kind of finding that for yourself in whatever capacity you can, I think, is what can really help you be successful. And doing that at the clinic, you have a lot of opportunities to find that thing.
Yeah, for sure. Just adding passion to a job is just takes you to another level, when you get to do what you love. I think that's just so cool. So yeah, if there's no questions from the chat, I think we're just gonna go ahead and wrap up. So before we wrap up, I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined our digital live tonight.
Thank you, Johnna and Natalie, so much for joining us. It was great hearing about your guys' past experience and seeing where you guys are right now in the present. And everyone that's watching, be sure you guys stay up to date with our future digital lives. The next one is on October 20th at 5:30 p.m. We hope to see you guys there. Bye.
Bye.